Well, hello, and welcome back to, you guessed it, The Tower. And if you haven't heard, I need to warn you, we will have a lucky banner on Monday. It's going to run for 2 weeks, so make sure you have everything ready to go so that you can be lucky too. And of course, don't forget to use creator code Zaerdin. I'll show you how to do it in just a second. Let me finish setting up stream here. Because there's going to be some amazing... Hey, Gail, how you doing? There's going to be some amazing module packs that are part of the deal here. So we'll go over that in just a second. I hope everybody followed my advice and saved their gems. And the funniest thing is, I literally called it on Reddit. Gail, because I decided to today. I just decided I was going to stream early. And we're streaming early, Gail, and... I don't have a reason. The reason for the season is I was just like, let's just get the stream done this morning and then I can do other things tonight, basically. That's basically the reason. The reason for the streaming is for, to get it done early in the day and not... It just happened to work out today that I'm like, I'm up. I don't want to do anything else right this second. Why don't I go ahead and stream? So, I mean, it's sort of bizarre. It's, out of, out of order. But, it is what it is. Now, the question is, will people show up? Nobody knows. So I do need to get... I don't think Tower 2 is in the tournament. I mean, No, I need to get him in, because he's going to take forever. I thought I already put him in. The problem, of course, is Little Towers tournament's going to take for god-awful long. And I am intended for this stream to last about the same amount of time as usual. We're not looking to have a super long stream. That's fine. Other people will show up eventually. We're not looking to have, like, a super long endurance stream. It's mostly I just wanted to, like, I'm available right now, so I was like, why don't I stream right now? And that was kind of the thought process. This is not going to be, like, a usual thing. And a lot of it was I just sort of wanted to get the stream done since I was awake. I mean, that sounds like it's a chore, but I mean, I have to run the tournament, right? Like, the whole thing is I have to do the tournament. And if I do the tournament now, I don't have to worry about doing the tournament later. So we decided to do the tournament now. I know that sounds weird, and maybe it is, but... what are you gonna do? Well, hold on, Gail. Everybody's not in the tournament yet, so I need you to wait a minute. That request cannot be answered right this second. I need to get Big Tower in. Big Tower takes the least amount of time, so it's not a big deal. Also, everybody should have purchased everything in the guild. So just make sure that you've purchased everything. Gail, have you been saving up your gems for the banner? Hey, Fuzzy, how you doing? Yeah, that's basically, well, I'm really concerned about what the relic is going to be. I'm really concerned about what the relics are going to be, because if I was Tech Tree Games, I would 100% drop 4 premium relics next week and 4 premium relics the week after, just to give everybody a great conflict, and I'd also pick the best relics, just to give everybody a great conflict of interest. That's what I would do if I was Tech Tree Games, based on their history of things that they do. Will it happen? Won't it happen? Nobody knows anything about anything. But that's what I would do. All right, let's see. Okay, let's get Big Tower in. He's the last one. So we'll get an event. We're gonna get 2 event resets, 2 event shop resets in there, and so we're gonna see how cruel they are. Will they maximize? Will they optimize for cruelty? I don't have enough. I guess we'll buff bot. Make sure you buy the store out, guys. You should be able to buy the guild store out. When does the guild season end? Does anybody know? Is it going to end in the middle of the banner too? Because I think it is. Hey, Pappy. Pappy. I tell Gail this all the time, and you know, she has to wait until I get everybody in the tournament. So we're almost have everybody in the tournament. We're working on that right now, and as soon as I do finish that, we will look into that. But let me get everybody in the tournament first. Why did her phone die? Is she watching on your phone, Pappy? Did you let her phone die? I mean, I would just do both weeks of good relics. That's just what I would do if I was them. Alright, we're not going to spend anything because I'm saving to do the research. One of the researches. Okay, I think we're good. We have enough time where if I get a bad run, we can do another run too. Okay, so now, Pappy, you may ask the question. The question I know you're dying to ask. The question that is on everybody's mind, Pappy, will you ask it? Dun. Dun, dun, dun. I keep hoping people will come back. Well, that's the way that's unfortunately the way the banner crumbles, Fuzzy. I mean, even with Mike Towers having between 31,000, and again, it kind of depends if there's like good relics, of course, then I have to choose between the two of them. And 3,100 and my high of 5,200 or 52,000, 31,000 to 52,000. It's going to be kind of interesting. All right, so Big Tower is at 33 sextillion. Little Tower is at 11 quadrillion. Tower 3, Rocket Man's favorite tower, is at 23 trillion. Tower 4, which is Virus's favorite tower, at 27 trillion. Tower 5, Sar's favorite tower, at 15 trillion. And finally, Tower 6 at 29 trillion, which is New's favorite tower. I have a feeling some of our regulars might not show up because I am streaming at an unusual time. But this is the Europe-friendly stream. You know, it's what? It's like the late evening in Europe? Surely everyone should be awake by now. My problem is I took a nap yesterday and I slept until midnight with my nap, and I was like, oh, oops. Oopsie daisy. And like tiredness hasn't hit me yet, so I'm like, great, I really screwed all this up. Oh, right, we need to set everything up. I always forget that. What do we have here? We have enemy speed, so that's fine. Oh, whoops, I did too many. Wait, no, that's right, sorry. 3.15, okay. Alright, so now we're ready to rock and roll. Rocking around the clock tonight. Okay, so everybody... Oh, Little Tower, you might as well be buying attack skips. Well, I hope you enjoy 3 days of rest. At least you have auto restart, Fuzzy. Just make sure you fall asleep after the tournament. Very important that you fall asleep after the tournament. You don't want to skip it. Hey D, how you doing? He is at 11 quadrillion. Oh, well, I hope your daughter has a great birthday. And enjoys the cake. I hope she has a great time, Pappy. How about that? We killed enemies with Death Ray. No, you'll know when YouTube is mad at you because you will get 10 ads in a row. Yeah, it's 11 quadrillion. D, how you doing? And, I'm pretty sure I said hi, D. Dun. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. I mean, yeah, Fuzzy, because you're like... They probably have profiled you, Fuzzy, and they know this guy is just not gonna buy any of the stuff we sell, so they're just, you know, terrible ads. I mean, yeah, that's... Yeah, pretty much, Fuzzy. They know you're getting like the bottom of the, they have decided that you aren't worth advertising to, so you get like the bottom of the barrel ads. What do you consider vice? Gambling, alcohol, crypto? The funny thing is, all like so many of the advertisements I got when I would use like YouTube on my phone were all about weight loss. Like it was weight loss, like it was like Google knew I was a fat ass and wanted me to feel bad about being a fat ass, so it just spammed me with fat ass ads. When you say quit smoking ads, do you mean like actual products that stop smoking, or do you mean stuff like Zen, which is just like smoking but different? Because I do think it's important to make those two different, make a distinction. Wait, so actual ads that are like quit smoking? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the product they're trying to sell to stop smoking? I mean, so the thing is, like, nicotine gum is actually a legitimate smoking cessation product. And that's entirely different from actual, like, nicotine but different products, right? Like, which is like what everybody, like Zen, right? Like, Zen is that nicotine pouch that, they advertise all the time. And Zen is not designed to get you to stop smoking or reduce your addiction to nicotine. Zen is legitimately designed to, hey, get addicted to our product instead. Because, like, Zen will market itself as a smoking cessation aid, but that's not the goal. Zen wants you to take Zen. I mean, it's fuzzy. It's really hard to say because, like the quit smoking gum is a legitimate way for people to stop smoking. That's a legitimate thing. That is a product that I've had since I haven't used it, but it's been around since I was a kid, at least that I remember. So it's very hard to say that that's not an actual smoking anti-smoking product. Obviously, I'm not seeing the advertisements you're seeing. Maybe they have some weird subliminal messages. Okay, thank you, Pappy. Subliminal messages or something like that. But I mean, there are a lot of legitimate products out there that are actually designed to reduce smoking. I mean, Fuzzy, what's most likely happening is they know how adverse you are to advertising, and so nobody bids up. Yeah, but the thing is, like, and Fuzzy, if you don't want to see stuff about quitting smoking, you can actually go into your profile settings, and you should be able to turn off those advertisements. As far as I know, any controversial advertisements like gambling, weight loss, or any of those things, you can say, hey, I don't want to see advertisements in these categories. It's a setting that's buried in your YouTube profile, though. You'd have to Google how to, disable it. And you should stop seeing these advertisements. I don't know what you'll see instead, but that you should have control over those categories. Because I could turn off any advertisement for me. Hey, Dr. Trashbag, how you doing? Yeah, if you go to your Google account and you navigate to the Customize Ads tab, and you go to the sensitive or topic brand sections, you can toggle certain categories off. So if you don't want to see them, you can actually go in and toggle them off. Now, again, how they use that... Now, you're right, they'll use that against you. I mean, sure, Fuzzy. They're trying to, of course, get everybody to buy YouTube Premium. I don't think that's a conspiracy to anybody that they would rather us all pay for YouTube Premium than have to deal with advertising. However, you do have, I mean, it's, all I can say, Fuzzy, is it's worth at least trying it. And if you try it and it doesn't change your experience any, right, then you haven't lost anything, right? You can just undo it, right? You haven't lost anything other than the, you know, whatever the small amount of time you've invested in doing it. Because well, no, Fuzzy, you didn't say that. I have already unchecked the categories for Vice and stuff like that, and they're still showing me this. You did not explicitly say this. You said that they would weaponize that against you. And then I don't know what to say, Fuzzy, you know? I mean, you're the only person I know of that has experienced this. I don't understand what you mean when you say I'm shadowboxing. Yeah, Fuzzy's talking about the advertising categories he gets. And I'm just saying, like, I know that YouTube is supposed to have a way for you to opt out against ads. And, again, you know, he says he's done it, so he still gets them, so I didn't know that. There was no way for me to know that, you know, outside of 2 minutes ago. I mean, and if that's the case, Fuzzy, you could report them because they could be miscategorizing their ads. I mean, that's also an option, Fuzzy. Unfortunately, I don't stream anywhere else, but if you do, you will be missed, and we, of course, would wish you the best. I actually don't know American Sign Language. It's not a compound word? I thought it was like 3 symbols together. Not a compound word, I mean a compound sign, because you would sign the 3 different words. There was a time when I had to take a foreign language, and it was recommended that I actually take ASL. Oh, okay. And unfortunately, the college I was able to take it at did not offer ASL up to the level required by my institution. So I couldn't actually take ASL. Because I had to take a language up to be the intermediate level, and they only had beginning ASL, so I couldn't do ASL and then get to intermediate ASL. Why? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know anybody that is hard of hearing, so I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, my ASL journey started and ended when I couldn't, take the class to the level I needed to. And I think that was only 3 semesters I needed. I'm pretty sure it was only 3 semesters. And they only offered beginning. Oh, I was hoping you were missing his steamed hams, Pappy. I will always be surprised how steamed hams just became like a thing. I can't keep up with all the people that stream, to be honest, Dr. Trashbag. Like, and honestly, I've been streaming, I think it's been over a year now. I haven't missed a tournament. But sometimes, I will be honest, sometimes I just do want to not stream a tournament. Because it's not that it takes a lot out, it's the way that it cuts the day up sometimes. I am hoarding for V29 at this point. I am hoarding, so I will be saving up for V29. Little Tower is working on he's working towards reducing the cooldown of Black Hole, Death Wave, and Golden Tower. I think there's a few things he's going to do before that, but that's on his trajectory, right? He's working on that trajectory to do that. I don't know what else. I don't know what else we're working on, to be honest with you. Like, the Little Towers, they all built a bunch of stuff. And I don't remember where they ended up. Gail, we will, I don't want to make any... Gail, you know I don't like making promises, so I will just say this. We will see what happens. I want to under-deliver and... Wait, no, sorry. I want to over-promise and... No. I want to under-promise and over-deliver. That's the one I want to do. So that's why I don't want to be committing to anything like that, Gail, because let's just leave it at we will see what happens. I prefer to keep things like that in case like something comes up. Oh, congrats, Fuzzy. I will say I have noticed tournaments have become much more competitive. I'm extremely curious on what is going to change. Yeah, I don't have CL+. CL Plus would be interesting, maybe. Yeah, it suffers diminishing returns like everything in this game. I don't even have the ILM Plus yet. I mean, are you doing ILM, Fuzzy? Because I heard ILM's just, like, straight up busted, but I don't know, like, what it requires to invest in to get ILM. So I'm still using Chain Lightning. Oh, okay. I've heard it's good, I just don't know, like, okay, here's what you have to build towards, here's what you need to do. I don't know those things. I don't know the official ILM Plus build. I do have AmpBot and BotBot. Oh, is it built into effective paths now? I didn't know it was built into effective paths. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Trashbag. Have you tried mytower.app? That's like the new thingy. I am just disappointed it's unfortunately such a pain in the butt to get your save file. I'm hoping at some point they will just have a thing, you know, like a JSON dump you can copy and paste out of the game. Oh, I don't play on a phone, Fuzzy. I couldn't find the option for a USB transfer in BlueStacks. Maybe that's on me. I also heard a lot of people working on Defense Absolute, because there's something with Defense Absolute in tournaments, and that it can actually stop you from dying to OCs. Which I was surprised by, but I don't have a history of dying to OCs in the tournament. I have a history of dying to Rays. Ray. We can't go back any further. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really there yet, Dr. Trashbag. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I would need to do. I was actually working on Econ, and of course now I have to save up for V29. So yeah, I'll probably work on Defense Absolute at some point. Right now my lab is only at 15. I mean, it's gonna be it's under consideration. Fuzzy is about what I would put it at. I'm not making a decision one way or another, but it is under consideration. I already run Space Displacer. We already displaced the space. The nice thing, too... I mean, we'll see, Fuzzy. I don't want to rush into anything. We can take our time. We can take our time. I'm also hoping that with V29 we get Guardian multi-spec in the tree. I really hope we get that so badly. Oh, okay, Fuzzy, that's good to know. One second, I'm looking at something. I'm almost done. Just 1 second. I mean, if they did that to Black Hole, that would be like a crazy change. That would be like, Black Hole would become like ridiculously powerful. Oh, okay, so it would be like CL plus 1 hit per act, I see. Oh, Gale, do I have my max stone packs and Alexa Plus? Oh, thank you, Gale. What did I spend it on, Gale? I just, I don't know, I'll be honest, Fuzzy, I don't know what they would do with Black Hole Plus. I don't know what it does. So, I'll just, unfortunately, I don't have everything in this game memorized, excuse me. What was that? When can I get intro sprint mastery for Little Tower? Like, when do I unlock card masteries? Oh, I got more mop station duration. Thank you, Gale. What does that do? Is that Black Hole, but for your game? Oh, okay, that's it. So it's basically reducing everything's health to 90% at max, that's really expensive for that. That doesn't seem very good at all. Oh, thank you, Gale. Did I max out the research for Black Hole? I mean, for Mop? Still waiting for Wallthorns to finish. 3 days. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Gale. Thank you. Oh, Little Tower, how are your researches coming along? Yep, still doing Golden Bot duration. That's a thing. Almost done with Spotlight Missiles, thank goodness. I really wish it would show you the total time or something down here rather than just the time remaining. Like, even if it was just a percentage. Oh, okay, Fuzzy. Obviously, Little Tower is going to be backed up with labs for... Like, Little Tower is about to... you guys know that Little Tower is about to, like, pop off, right? Everybody knows that, right? He's, like, right there, and he's about to just go off. I just need to finish these few labs, and then he will just explode with power. We finish Wallthorns. Wallthorns is going to be a long time, though. We'll finish Spotlight Missile. That's going to be a free lab soon. I'm actually more talking about labs than the Lucky Banner, honestly, Fuzzy. You know, the labs I need... you know, once the... I mean, it would be nice to get an Ancestral Sharp Fortitude, right? And then we can at least see, okay, if I get Ancestral Sharp Fortitude, right? Does that help Little Tower? How much does that help, you know? And then the question would be, okay, if I get Ass Mods unlocked, do I do Ass Mods and, like, you know, Sharp Fortitude plus the Orb thing, right? So there's some questions that could help answer. You know, there's some interesting opportunities there. But I don't know what will happen, right? We don't know. It also would be nice to be able to get to Ancestral G-Comp. That would be nice, but that's going to be 4. I don't think it's going to be possible for me to pull 4 G-Comps. At least I don't think it is with 30,000 gems. Oh, really? Deathwave Plus is... That's not a good thing. You know, that's not really helping anybody if it's broken. I thought they fixed Deathwave with the most recent update, especially with the interaction with G-Comp. Did they not? Did they lie to us, guys? Did they go on the internet and tell us lies? I'm hoping they didn't lie to us, guys. Don't let me know that they lied. I'll be very sad. You don't want to make me sad, do you? Well, I guess we'll, you know, as the QA department, Fuzzy, I thank you for your report. Oh, that's not good. Well, that's not really amped up at all, is it? Yeah, it's supposed to, like, reduce it by the other way, so it should reduce it by 500 million, not 10 billion, right? Wait a second. Oh, did I accidentally do... I must have used Demon Mode accidentally on Tower 4. I'm really curious how they're going to change tournaments in V29. I almost think they're going to make a Mythic League, but they're going to change it so, like, it's something like 1 person or 2 people promote, and then 4 people demote or something like that. I think they're going to change it to something like that. Where, like, Mythic League is, like, first placers only or something like that. First or second. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do for the Mythic League. If they're doing that for the tournament thing. Because then it's, like, super hard to get to Mythic League, and then Mythic League could have, like... give you, like, tons of keys as, like, a catch-up reward, you know? Like, not really a catch-up, but you know what I mean. I mean, that also works, depending on how they kick the can down the road. Personally, I feel like they should do the keyflation thing I talked about, where you just double all the rewards for keys. And then you basically add keys to 16 through 24. Yeah, that works perfectly fine for me, Fuzzy. I also hope that they give let you get keys for just playing the game would be nice. I really hope that they just do that and let us just play the game and get keys. Because Little Tower could use auto restart. That's the only thing I want for Little Tower. Auto restart, like, obviously, would bot respec be nice? Sure, it would be nice to have bot respec. He doesn't really need it right now. I also hope we get Guardian multi-spec. That's what I hope the most. Because I have saved up, like... so many keys for Guardian multi-spec. I want it so bad. I have 200 keys. That's the thing I want the most, Guardian multi-spec. Not even a question. How are the little ones doing at their labs? I haven't looked at them in a while. Oh, they have a lot of these, but, okay, yeah, that's why, because that jump is very expensive. That's why we haven't done that yet. I could maybe 3x, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. It would be, mathematically, it should be 94% without keys. Because 6%, 6.5% of the tournament players should be able to get keys. I guess it depends if you include people. I mean, again, I'm going to ask you a question, Fuzzy, and this will kind of dictate how this goes. Do you think it would be better if there was a global rank and you got a static reward? Do you think that's better? Like if there was 1,000 legend brackets, let's just say there's 1,000, right? And then do you think it's better if we switch to a global rank where the top 1,000 always get first place, and then the top 1,000 to 2,000 always get second, and then et cetera, et cetera? I mean, do you think that's better? I mean, that's what I don't understand your complaint, because to me, like, a global ranking system is objectively worse in every way. I mean, it would be better for the developer, maybe, but... I just don't know what, Okay, I don't understand what you mean when I say you say that, Fuzzy. I don't understand what you are implying with shadowboxing. I don't understand. Can you please use actual words that mean things? It's not that I'm arguing against anything at all. I'm asking a question, because you have a complaint. The problem is entrenchment, and my question to you is, okay, how would you fix it? That's my whole question there. Because it's like, okay, you don't like entrenchment, but the fact that it's RNG does actually prevent some entrenchment because it's random and you can't control for it. So what's your solution? Because you have a lot of complaints, but you don't ever have, because Fuzzy, the way I look at something, like if I criticize something, I try to say, this would be a solution to this problem. Okay? Like I don't like the Vault of Harmony. Okay? I don't like how it's set up in terms of how keys are distributed. So my solution to that is keys should also be a reward for just playing the game, right? So you can either choose to spend money to get keys, or you can just play the game for a long time and eventually get the keys, right? That's my solution to the problem, is if everybody got 2 keys a week once you hit a specific milestone, like 1 key in the last guild box and 1 key in the last mission box. I don't know what the milestone should be. I obviously would prefer the milestone to be earlier rather than later, but that's sort of my solution to the problem, because then there's not a problem anymore, right? You either play for X number of weeks and get your 2 keys a week, and then you get to unlock these benefits in the Vault of Harmony, or you decide that is too slow, and you decide to buy stone packs and stuff like that. Well, I mean, that's just how I discuss things, Fuzzy. I try to avoid just saying that this sucks, this is a problem. And, like, because that doesn't do anything, right? You can always complain about things, but if you don't have a solution to the problem, to me, the complaint is meaningless. So, like, that's what I'm trying to ask you. Like, what is your... When you complain about entrenchment, like, what is your solution to that? Because you have never presented a solution to me. Like, you don't like the RNG brackets, but I think the RNG brackets are a good thing, because it prevents, it does allow you to sometimes have a really great victory, and sometimes, yeah, you get a bad bracket and you have a really bad defeat, right? Theoretically, in an RNG system, you eventually averages out, right? Sometimes you get bad brackets, sometimes you get good brackets. And so that's why I asked the question, like, okay, like, you don't like entrenchment, I get it, but... Right, but, like, how do you fix it? That's what I'm asking you. Like, okay, the system collapsed. Okay, but how do you fix it? Like how do you fix the system? That's the whole thing. Like to me, saying, oh, this doesn't work anymore, doesn't really contribute anything, because it's like, well, how do you fix it if it doesn't work anymore? That's my opinion. Like, you should always try to say, well, this isn't working, and this is what I would do to make it better. But that's how I look at things like that. Because otherwise, it's like the criticism is... Well, I never said it was your responsibility, Fuzzy, but I mean, it's just like, that's the way I've always approached things in life. Is that if I have a criticism, it's important for me to think of a way to make it better. Right? It doesn't matter if it's my responsibility or, or not. I always want to say, like, this isn't working, here's how I think it should be done. I don't remember, Gale. It was, we can look. I don't remember. It was 1434. So it kind of varies. He has a large variance depending on the battle conditions. And I got a bad bracket because he was 14th. But it could be I got a bad battle condition and so he didn't succeed. I don't know what a keycation is. This is, again, you're using a terminology that I don't understand. Generally, the solution that the developers have used for this game, by the way, is just diminishing returns on stuff. Oh, I guess I should spend... I don't know what the order is for this. I guess we'll spend this. I didn't realize I had so many metals lying around. Let's see. Honestly, Fuzzy, this is the first time I've even heard you say that. But doesn't that just make the problem worse? And honestly, I don't know that I like your solution. I mean, it's obviously, I guess one way you could do it is you get one or the other. I feel like that ends up because there's no other way to get keys. Right, but doesn't that just make stone packs even better? Because now you're reducing the amount of stones you can get, so somebody who buys stone packs would have an even larger advantage because they would always choose keys and then always buy stone packs. So you would basically get no keys or no stones. I think the community would riot. Not that they should build it around what the community does or doesn't do, but you know what I'm saying, right? I just see your suggestion as just not being very popular is all. Again, I don't know what you mean when you say take a bracket off. I don't know. Again, I know nothing about your idea, so you need to try and explain your idea more fully so that I can understand it, because I've never heard you say this before, so this is all new to me. Okay, we're gonna grab range. Then we grab bonus. Then we grab range again. Then we get duration. We already got that duration. Then we grab range one last time, and that's it for that. Hey Shinobis, how's it going with you? It's going pretty good here. Okay, we're gonna probably have the same problem here. 3.4. Give me a second, Fuzzy, because let me finish what I'm trying to do here. I can't focus on both reading this chart and spending my metals, as well as looking at what you're talking about. Okay, We grab a cooldown, we grab a duration, we get range again, and we get bonus. We get range, and it wants cooldown, and then we can do a bonus. We can do a range. Okay, that'd be better. Okay, same thing here, 3.6 and 540 for range, which is way down there. I have same amount, and cooldown. Okay, so we're gonna grab cooldown, and then 3.8 bonus, and then 420 range, and then duration. And then a 580 range. And one more for this one, which is bonus at 460. That is good. And then we can send you back to farm. I'm going to go ahead and do the last one real quick. And then I'll try and understand what you're saying, Fuzzy. Because I currently do not understand what you're trying to... What your solution is. I don't understand it. But I want to finish this first before so that I can give it the full attention that it deserves. Alright, we're just going to grab these, so I don't have to worry about those two. So 3.6 and 40 and 540. 540 is way down there, so okay, we're good there. And then, so this is 420, which is right below it. Okay, so we're going to grab that. And then it's range again at, 540, range, yes. Then range again at 580, and then we'll 460 for bonus. We'll grab it. Okay, there we go. And I did buy everything, right? Yes. Okay. I should have checked that first, honestly. Sorry, Fuzzy, I don't mean to disengage with you. It's just like this happened, and I wanted to make sure that everybody's in a good spot. This is the problem with having so many towers, is there's a lot of things I don't memorize for each tower, so I always feel like I have to triple check everything. The game doesn't really do a good job of indicating, like, you've purchased everything in the event shop. You've purchased everything here. Like, it doesn't do a good job, in my opinion, of that. I mean, honestly, the notifications are still broken, in my opinion, and so that's a whole nother thing. Okay, alright, now I can focus on this, Fuzzy. Again, I guess, I understand, so, like, what do you mean? So when would you be eligible for a skip? What does a skip do? And how many keys do you get for a skip? Like, that's the, like, I'm trying to understand the mechanics more. If I understand what you're saying is, if I get first place, I can choose to skip the next tournament and get 25 keys. And then I would do the tournament after that. And then like, so I can only skip one tournament, if I understand correctly. So I would get first place. I could elect to skip the next tournament for 25 keys. I would collect the 25 keys, and then I would do the tournament. I couldn't skip multiple tournaments in a row. And then I would go into the tournament after that, correct? Would I get any stones for skipping? And wouldn't that mean the optimal scenario would be for me to always do Wednesday's tournament and always skip Saturday's tournament because people are more likely to have free time to do tournaments on Saturdays than Wednesdays? And I assume this would be limited to Legends, right? So it would kind of work like how it works now, where if you have to get 15 or higher, and then you would skip based on your rank, right? So if you were 15 and you skip the next tournament, you would get 2 keys. But if you were, 15, you could, do the next tournament, and maybe everybody skips the Saturday tournament, and then you do better on that one, and you alternate. Hey, New, how you doing? Knew it was just the way my schedule worked out that I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and stream. It was just the way things worked out, and I was like, I kind of wanted to get it out of the way, New, in case I wanted to do something later today, too. It wasn't something, I didn't plan on doing it right here and now, but it was just like the way I was awake, I wasn't tired enough to go to sleep, and I was like, well, let's go. So wait. If I skip a tournament, I demote to champions, so it would take me 2 tournaments to recover? Oh! So I would go to a completely separate bracket. Oh. So there would be a completely separate bracket. Oh, well, if that's the case, what about people who, what is 15th place then? Like, so they're the only way to get keys in your system would be to go into to promote and then go select to do a key bracket. Yeah, 4th or higher, correct. So basically, if you get 5th or lower, you would just not get keys at all? Well, 5th to 15th would just never get keys, is that correct? Okay, now I really don't understand. When you say you would get less, so doing the normal bracket would still award some keys, just not as much as the key bracket? Okay, so you would be able to get some keys, just not... Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, an optional promotion... Well, what's the minimum if it's top 4 only? What would the reward be from the Legends bracket for top 4 in terms of keys? And what would be the reward in the key bracket in terms of keys? Since it's only top 4 Legends. I have a feeling we would end up with some really interesting collusion with this kind of design. Sure, but I mean, just throw some numbers out. I'm curious what your numbers are. I mean, it would be interesting in a sense because I feel like eventually. Okay, so basically 3-1. Okay, what about fourth and higher? What would the key reward for fourth or higher be? Would they get any keys? And if they don't get any keys, then that means that the minimum for the key bracket would be different. Oh, that's unusual. So then what's the minimum for the key tournament bracket? Because it would have to be at least 6 keys for this to make sense. Okay. Actually, it would need to be 8. It would need to be a minimum of 8, so there's actually a reward. Otherwise, you'd be better off getting stones and keys by timing 5th place. They aren't important, but they are important, Fuzzy, because for me to understand your idea and how it works, like a very important part of the idea is like, where do the numbers lie? Because the numbers are going to be how people make the decisions, right? Basically, what it sounds like what you want to do is just get the top 4 people out of Legends to make Legends a bit easier for everybody. Which, if there were 1,000 Legends brackets, it would be the top 4,000. I mean, we could accomplish the same thing by basically creating a mythic bracket, though. I have I'm on the fence of, I originally thought... that, yeah, I mean, everybody will always pile up on the end because the basic problem with the tournament system right now is that every tournament is effectively a pyramid scheme. So, like, 60-something% of the player base is always going to be in gold. Right, it's gold. Yeah, it's gold. 60% of the player base is always going to be in gold because they have to be there to support the other brackets, right? Obviously, these numbers can be changed and differentiated simply by reworking the amount of demotions and promotions in each bracket. I would think they want to make brackets bigger. But I don't know how much they would like that, because the larger the brackets are, the less RNG factor of getting a good bracket is. Yeah, you could just make up another currency. They could always do that. Somebody proposed, like, tiers of keys. Personally, I just want... I want participation keys. I just want participation keys in terms of, like, at some milestone, you can get 1 key to 2 keys a week. Ideally, 2 keys a week, and ideally, I would think that they would be, like, tier 10 or something like that, would be the milestone. Because then, like, all my towers could slowly work towards auto restart, right? I would really like that. That's really the thing that I want. Because, like, once I get them all to have auto restart, like... multi-spec is nice, bot spec is nice, a theoretical guardian multi-spec is nice, but none of that's mandatory. Oh, this isn't good. This is not good. Oh no, oh no, oh, Death Defy! Thank goodness I Death Defied. Yeah, the only two mandatory unlocks so far are, well, I would say that Workshop Multi-Spec is a pretty strong third, simply because you can change a lot of your economy coins into offensive coins or whatever you need for the tournament. I would say it's pretty strong. At least strong enough to warrant a pretty serious mention. All right, we're gonna do. Hold on. I disagree, because I think as you get further and further into the game, it gets really strong. Oh, okay, we're all the way up to third. I mean, yeah, you can argue you can do without it because you can respec as many times as you want, and it just really saves you gems. Which I guess, yeah. I feel like it's really close to being up there. Probably Orb. The Orb slider is probably number 3, and then that's number 4. I would still say somebody with Workshop Multi-Spec would also have a gigantic power advantage over you. Simply because you can, like, read it, you can have effectively a tournament and a farm spec. I think it's pretty powerful. I have heard Orb Slider is probably number 3, simply because you can change where your orbs are, and that can be pretty powerful. But I would think Workshop Multi-Spec is strong, really strong, too. And I mean, sure, you can argue that they can just... you know, anybody can pay gems, but I mean... How much is a respec again? Isn't it 150 gems, right? So that's like 300, or is it 300 gems? I don't remember. How much is a workshop respec? Oh, I forgot to check. Okay, you don't have any. You have 300. You have 126, and you have 130. I forgot what the babies were working on. Let me go check. I mean, you say it's convenience, but it has a pretty strong opportunity cost, right? Because if you're doing... can you tell me how much the workshop respec is, out of curiosity? Yeah, I'm very aware, Fuzzy, that people did that in the old days. I'm very aware of what you're saying. Okay, we ended up getting got by ranged. Really? I have... Oh, it's 150. So, I mean, I would say, Fuzzy, that even though people did that back in the day, and you could do it today, a gem sink, because again, if you're doing it twice a week in 2 tournaments, of 600 gems a week, is pretty, I would say that's pretty significant. I don't know that it's 10%. Let's look at mine. So my tournament spec, I mean, is basically almost 5x crit factor, right? Like, and my farm spec is like, this is almost... I mean, it's more than 10%. That's a lot more than 10%, I'll tell you that. Do we want to push anything? I mean, you're not wrong. You can try and bot respec Fuzzy on like a Saturday tournament and then get the second respec on Monday. So you can kind of try to do that like once every 2 weeks. You can do it for one tournament. With pretty much a I think we can assume that's a pretty minor thing if you respec on Saturday. Sorry, there's a bug. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it, Fuzzy. I kind of like it. I feel like I need to redo my tournament spec. Hey, Orm, how you doing? I mean, yeah, that pretty much would solve the problem, to be honest, is just not cap the bot respecs. Or at least, like, introduce, you know, like a research or something that lets you do, like, you know, 4 respecs. Like, if you even had a research that you could research 3 levels of, and then you could do 4 respecs a week, right? You basically solve the problem. Or milestone rewards. There's like a variety of things they could do, right? One of the things I honestly feel like this game doesn't use enough is actual, like, good milestone rewards. Right, but Fuzzy, what I'm trying to, my counterpoint to that is, another way of handling it is to just give you a way to increase the amount of times you could respec, right? Like an actual gameplay mechanic behind it to say, oh, you can increase your respecs by, you know, this many. Like once you get to a certain point, right? And if it's a milestone reward, then everybody could unlock it at some point. I will say, Fuzzy, I do find it odd that they don't let you just respec as much as you want. Like, I'm kind of... It is sort of weird that you can't just respec your bots and respec your guardians as many times as you want. I don't understand how I am acting like that. Because if it's a milestone reward, I guess I don't understand. If there's a milestone reward that everybody can get, right? And when you get that milestone reward, it allows you to have more respecs. What is the problem with that having a game? You know, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what is the problem with having that kind of gameplay mechanic where you earn it through, like, a milestone, which a milestone is achievable by anybody. It's not, like, play the game long enough, you will get the milestone, right? I guess I don't... And, like, again, I'm not saying the milestone has to be, like, tier 21 or something insane like that, either. It could be, like, it could be tier 3, you get 2 respecs a week, and then tier 6, you get, you know, 3, and tier 9, you get 4. And, you know, tier 12, you get 5, right? Like, it could go up that way. Yeah, I do feel like they don't do enough with milestones. I really feel like they should add more milestone unlocks. Like, again, like, the solution to auto restart is not necessarily give everybody keys as much as it is, okay, make it so that, like, you unlock a certain number of, you unlock a certain amount of auto restarts, you know. Hey, Rubber, how you doing? Yeah, I would agree with that too. Or I'm like, extra workshop presets, you just unlock them. Like a lot of the Vault of Harmony should have been milestone stuff. I would even, like, now that we have the additional things, I would actually like another 5 more workshop presets, to be honest with you. I don't know that I agree it should go to 10. I think it should go to at least 5,000 now. They should have a 5,000 milestone to match it up with the disco runs. I don't think it should go to 10,000 because, I mean, obviously it kind of depends on what the reward is, but I think 10,000 is a bit much. But I think 5,000 would be a great stopping point at the very least, because disco goes to 5,000, right? Like, we should have a 5,000 reward. What should it be? Nobody knows. You know, guys, what this is really telling me is I really need to make my own tower defense game where I can just do all these things because I will be in control of the game. That's what I'm taking from this conversation. I need to just make my own game. I don't know I don't know the solution to that, Fuzzy. Yeah, no, I've been talking about a game since forever because I was mad at what happened to Idle Kingdom Defense. I've been talking about a game. Oh, I got to 75. I don't know that that's a new milestone, but we got to 75. It is not, in fact, we need to get to 80. I've been talking about making a new game since, like, forever and a day. Yeah, I'll make Alexa Plus. I mean, honestly, the nice thing is with a game like this, at least I know I don't have to, like, worry a lot about graphics or anything, right? Hey, Sar, how you doing? Yeah, sorry, I started streaming early. I thought you got the notification. I did notify everybody on Discord. I don't think I could do that as an American, Fuzzy. Oh, you're in Liddy. What is Liddy like? Well, I wish you the best of luck, Orm. I don't know, Fuzzy. I'd have to think about that. Why do you have a Liddy and an Aldi? I know Aldi is German. Like, why are they so, like, similar in letters? Was it like some feud between two people of who's gonna sell the most stuff, or what? Wait, two brothers that went apart? I remember when the WWF, in terms of when the WWF, it was the World Wildlife Foundation, sued the WWF, which at that time was the World Wrestling Federation, and I could never understand how the WWF, as in the World Wildlife Federation, like, won that lawsuit. Like, who is mixing your two organizations up? Oh! Wait, why did the brothers separate? Like, what happened between them? I am so confused. I need to read the history of Aldi. Carl and Theo. About cigarettes? Why did one brother not want to sell cigarettes? That's like the most American thing to sell. Oh, Carl was worried about shoplifters. I mean, you guys just put cigarettes out on the open? Like in like when they sell cigarettes here, you have to actually go, you know. I mean, Fuzzy, so I understand that smoking is bad, right? But I also don't believe that prohibition is the solution to things that are bad. I think there's better ways to encourage people, like, not to smoke other than, like, don't sell cigarettes, right? To me, my favorite thing is just make cigarettes really expensive because they're not good for you, right? What do you mean they're at checkout? Like, you can just pick them up off the shelf? And honestly, to me, like, at least smoking, like, you're only hurting yourself, right? Like, you're smoking, you're only hurting yourself, assuming you're doing it outside in an open air area, right? Like, obviously, I am 100% for, like, restaurant and indoor bans on smoking. I don't think smoking should be allowed in any building. I want to be very clear on that. But all buildings, like, certain buildings should be forced to accommodate smokers and soakers. Certain facilities should be required to by law to actually accommodate smokers, right? Like, I don't think it would be fair if, like, you couldn't smoke. I mean, obviously, you should not smoke in a hospital. I think hopefully we're all in agreement like that. I don't think it should be unreasonable to force, like, a hospital to have an outdoor smoking area for smokers because they're not allowed to smoke in the building, for example. I do think it is actually a good thing of the promotion of smokeless tobacco and smokeless tobacco products for people who want to be addicted to nicotine. I think that that's actually a good alternative. So if you want to have nicotine, you have alternate delivery mechanisms, right? Like, I don't believe Zyn is a bad thing to have as an alternative to smoking if the only other way you were going to get nicotine is smoking. Does pushing the button, like, make you charge for the package? Or do you push the button and the package falls out and the idea is you just can't steal all the cigarettes? You would have to sit there and keep pressing the button over and over again to get the cigarettes out. I mean, I guess that would be a solution to the retail theft in America, too. Oh, you press the button and it deposits it immediately on the conveyor belt for... Oh, okay. It's a conveyor belt, sorry. Oh, that's interesting. Now, is there an age requirement for smoking? Like in America, I'm not supposed to be able to buy cigarettes unless I'm 18, right? So, like, if I press the button, the cigarettes fall out and I go to the register, like, if I'm, like, underage, do they just stop me from buying them? Yeah, I remember those cigarette machines, Shinobis. I honestly, like... I don't think that was, like, a terrible thing. They were kind of neat too, because you would actually like have to like pull the. Oh, okay. Okay. So what happens if you're set? Do they just like not sell them to you and put them back in the machine? I do remember those old timey like cigarette machines like that, because you would have to actually like. It was weird because you would put your money in and then you would have to like pull and jerk this lever around. If I remember right. Like, it wasn't easy to get your cigarettes. You had to work for it. Oh, we got some stones. And we got some gems. mean, sorry, that's just, like, mind-blowing to me. Do you guys have, like, cigarette vending machines in the streets, or did you get rid of those? Because I heard that you used to be, like, your cigarettes were so loosely regulated that as long as somebody had an ID, they could scan it on the machine and buy as many cigarettes as they wanted. So theoretically, like, if I had a kid and I wanted to smoke, I could give my son my credit card and my ID, and he could go to the vending machine and get cigarettes for me. Oh, okay. You know, Sar, that's one of the things in history that I was so shocked went away, the automat. Like, I was shocked that the automat just stopped being a thing. I remember I saw it in this movie Dark City, and I was like, what the hell was that? Excuse me. And then it was gone. And now it's not a thing anymore. I'm just so surprised that, Oh, it was the... Okay, the one I'm thinking of is apparently the classic 1970s cigarette dispensing machine. That's the one I'm thinking of. Because it had, like, that lever you pulled out, and I remember watching people do it. Yeah, my dad didn't smoke. I think my dad said that he had tried smoking briefly. I don't remember that for sure. My dad didn't smoke, though. My mom did smoke briefly to lose weight, and then she quit smoking when she wanted to have kids. I don't think she smoked for that long either. Oh, so you're doing Zen now, Shinobis? Does that help you a lot? Yeah, Fuzzy. Nicotine is a stimulant. So and it's a like smoking is an oral thing too. So nicotine does, because it's a stimulant, help you lose weight. It's an appetite suppressant. And just the fact of smoking, like putting something in your mouth, it actually does. Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, I'm very fortunate, Shinobis, that I didn't. It's sort of funny. When I was a kid, my friends pressured me to smoke, and I was just like, I pretended to take a drag of the cigarette, and I gave it back, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm already addicted to video games. I don't need to get addicted to cigarettes. Oh. I need to see where Tower 5 is at, because I think he might be... Oh, yeah, we need to grab that. We can't get GT... Oh, wait, I grabbed the wrong... Damn it, I was looking at the wrong thing. Well, now I can't get the other thing. I was supposed to grab Black Hole Duration, and I couldn't get GT bonus. I was gonna get, well, whatever. Whoops. I guess I should update the path that they're on to make a note that I have purchased the 41 stone, Black Hole Duration. That is Death Wave. I don't know how I feel about that, Shinobis. It's very difficult. Like the thing is, it hasn't impacted me enough. It hasn't impacted me to make me like the problem is Shinobi's Little Tower is not at that point in the game where it impacted him. Big Tower, it hasn't changed anything with Big Tower. Ergo, it's like I'm not affected, so it's harder for me to have an opinion on it. Does that make sense, Shinobis? Because I totally can understand if you're an EHP player that would be very annoying. But because neither of my towers has been impacted by it, it's hard for me to have a strong opinion on it one way or another. And we got to 110. Where were you getting fleets? Hey, more gems. How about that? Now we need to get to 150. Also, one of the things I really wish you could do is export a workshops and import workshop specs. That would be really nice to be able to export and import workshop specs. Oh Lord, I would love that. Oh, okay. I'll be right back 1 second. It's only going to be a second. In fact, I don't even know why he said anything, because I can just keep talking. I will be really interested. Like the sad thing is, Shinobis, because I'm not affected by it, by the time Little Tower gets to that point of the game, it's going to be a thing. Like, I'm not going to know what the impact was. You know what I mean? Because by the time it's a thing for Little Tower, it's like, oh, well, it's been this way for so long. Like, you know, how is it different? That might not be the best way to put it, but that's the way I'm putting it. It's one of those things, like, I wish I could I could have a before and after opinion, because it's such a big change that I would like to know how it changes things. But I'm not going to be able to experience it. At least I got half of my trade-off perks done. Yeah, I haven't, and to be fair, I haven't done an attack dissonance run yet with the new update, so I don't know how it would change things for me there. I have been mostly focused on farming for now, and honestly, the bigger problem is I never finished the last utility disco run. So that's been a bigger problem for me. Oh, are you close to mastery, Shinobis? I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, as soon as Little Tower unlocks card masteries, I think I'm going to pick up Intro Sprint. I know that's a terrible ROI choice, Intro Sprint. But I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm so annoyed with how long his tournaments are. Unless they change something. Unless they change something, I'm honestly hoping that when they talked about doing that thing with the intro sprint changes. Oh yeah, I don't have enough. I think it was the intro sprint changes they were talking about, like, or sorry, the tournament changes. I feel like one of the things they need to do, yeah, but you could argue I should get package chance mastery or something else. It's probably, I don't think it would be first place. I think it's probably second place. But, like, I think you should get package chance mastery first, and then that probably second. But anyways, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I am hoping that they just build in intro sprint, like, into the tournament. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be chasing this whale forever. But if they just build it in to, like, if they just give you auto intro sprint in the tournament, right? Like, and I'm talking, like, and I think that's what they're going to do because they changed how wave skip and death wave health works, right? Because I'm talking about, like, if you get 1,000 waves in a tournament, like, let's say Little Tower. Little Tower averages probably 1,500 waves, right? Let's say 1,500 waves. For Little Tower's tournament, I should get a 100 wave skip all the way up until I get to, basically wave 1,000, right? Because I always get over 1,000 waves. So giving me a 100 wave skip until I get to 1,000 waves, and then dropping down to a 10 wave skip until I get to like 1,250. Okay, but anyways, I feel like that should just be built into the tournament, right? Because if you basically skip me to 1,250 every time, like, I always get there anyways. You're just saving me time, and I feel like that should be built into the tournament system. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to everybody? How would the changes to heat, like, screw me over? Like, what do you mean? Oh, you mean the heats give you a lot of variance? Well, that's why Shinobi's, that would be an average, right? Like, again, if my average is 1,500 waves in Platinum, right, 80% of the average would be 1,200, so I should be able to skip up to 1,200, and then, you know, again, it would, again, like, go back to my example, I would 100 skip up to 1,000, and then I would just 10 skip up to 1,200, right? And, then that would be about where I'm at. Now, obviously, all the rules for intro sprint would apply, right? Like, I think if you take fatal damage or if you get hit or something like that, what's the rules for intro sprint when you get knocked out? Is it when you take fatal damage or if you just get hit? It's fatal damage, right? I honestly don't know, Shinobis. It's not wall break for. I thought it was when I had to, for like big towers, for when, I don't know the other ones, because nobody like really hits it. For big tower, it is when I believe it would break when auto demon mode kicked in. Like when I took a fatal hit and auto demon mode kicked in. Yeah, that's the problem. All my other towers can only skip to 100. So I don't remember the criteria. I should know the criteria for here. Well, at least when I'm doing this, it's when, it seems to be when demon mode kicks in. I mean, I used to be really against adding an additional league, Fuzzy, but now, I feel like that's like probably the better solution. Because one of the things people are complaining about is like, oh, it feels stagnant being stuck at this place, and it's like, well, okay, if it does, you know. To me, like, I don't, you know, and again, like, I remember when I was basically stuck in Platinum, and like, to me, it was just like, well, whatever, this is just what we do now. And I was actually really happy when I got to the point where I could get first place in Platinum and last place in Champion. Because then I only had to do one tournament a week, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. I mean, I don't know what you mean by that, because every bracket has been meaningful for Little Tower. Like, you could argue that Copper and Silver weren't, because I got the gold pretty quick with Little Tower, but Little Tower had all 3 packs. So it was sort of like... You know. One second, guys. Sorry, I'm having that dilemma. The fan is on, and then I get too cold. I turn the fan off, and then I get too hot. My baby towers, I think it took them... To get to gold, it took them... I want to say like 6 weeks. Gail, do you remember how long it took the baby towers to get to gold? I want to say it was 6 weeks or longer. They took a long time. Oh, I got to 146 this time. That is a, oh, well, damn, Gail, we were all counting on you to remember, Gail, just so you know. You let us down, okay? I do wonder if the tournament history even goes back that far. I know it goes back pretty far on Big Tower. We'll check a second. I'll look at, I guess, Tower 6 to see. Tower 6. No, wait. Tower 5? Let's see. Gold, 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 gold. Oh, okay. Here's so... Okay, so we made it to gold on 12/6. Which... I'm surprised it remembered that long. I'm actually happy it did. When is this at? When did we start? Okay. So yeah, it took me about 2 months to get out of gold. Sorry, to get to gold. I mean, we will find out. I have a feeling if they add a new bracket, though, Fuzzy, that they're going to change promotions and demotions. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Hey, Glenn, how you doing? That's what I'm thinking is going to happen, right? Like, I would think that it would be, instead of the promote 4 and demote 6, I was just thinking it would be like promote 2, demote 4. Platinum. We will use the same person. And Platinum, our first Platinum tournament was on April, so that was almost 7 months. That's almost exactly 7 months, isn't it? I mean, I still, Fuzzy, just for the record, I still think that Champion should award 1 key. I think that you know, I've said this before, I think demoting from Legends should award 1 key. I think 16 to 24 should have been 2 keys, and you just kind of double the rewards from there, right? From 15 and up. I don't think we can see back that far, Gale. We can obviously try. I don't think it goes back that far. I mean, yeah, you're right. Well, it won't be as good though. It also depends because they could manipulate the promote. Yeah, it doesn't go back that far. Unfortunately. It only goes back to 2024. Fortunately, I do have everything documented in videos, so you can see it that way. Well, that wasn't a good start. I mean, we're kind of just playing RNG lottery at this point to see if we get there, right? Will I proc Death Defy at the right time? I don't think I'm going to unlock 24 Shinobis. I don't think that's possible. We're just really just like rolling the dice a little bit here. I mean, Fuzzy, I've kind of explained that to you. The issue is, Fuzzy, you have a lot of disadvantages in this game. And Fuzzy, you're always going to be swimming upstream, right? The problem is anybody that just buys the 3 basic packs, ad-free, ad-free 2x and 3x, it doesn't matter how long you've played, they are gonna advance, 9 times faster than you. So it's just a matter of, I forget how long you've played, Fuzzy. Like, let's say you've played for 4 years. I think it's 4 years. 4 years divided by 9, we can divide it by 9, or, or 6 or whatever. I don't know if you use that, but I mean, 4 years divided by 9, it's 0.4, right? Obviously, that doesn't count for everything because there's tournament stones, etc., right? But the longer you play the game with what you have, the further back you're gonna fall. I mean, why do you say you shouldn't be demoting? That doesn't make sense to me, because if other people, if other people have more stones than you, they should beat you, right? Okay. Well, first off, it depends on what brackets you get into. Oh, congrats, Glenn. We're almost twins. But I mean, are you demoting because you just rolled a really bad bracket, or are you demoting because of like heats, or like what? Like, that's a very vague thing. Oops. Oh well, we got extra shockwave. I mean, if it's by bad luck, then that's just the way the system is designed, unfortunately. Like, if you're telling me, like, sometimes I get a bad bracket and I demote, well, that's just bad. That's just... I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Like, I don't know you know, what to say. Like, that's just, like, bad luck. Oh, like again, why should you never demote? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why you think you should never demote. Because if everybody does better than you, then you absolutely should demote. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't demote. Okay. Yeah, Glenn, of course, chip in. But that doesn't mean anything, Fuzzy. Like, I don't understand, like, why you say, I do so well in Champions, I should never demote. And then you get a Legends bracket where everybody is stronger than you. And again, the only reason you demoted anyways is because of bad luck, right? So it's just a bad luck issue, right? I guess I'm having a really hard time following the point you're trying to make. I mean, Fuzzy, but that's by design by the pyramid system. Is when you have a 4 promote, 6 demote system, it has a fixed... Oh, okay. Well, yeah, of course it is. I'm not disputing that 3,000... Again, Fuzzy, like, my solution to that is the median waves thing that I talked about earlier. Is where our median... Maybe it should be median instead of average. Whatever. We can dispute that back and forth, right? But yeah... I agree that they need to have some kind of, like, built-in intro sprint. I think everybody can agree that there should be some kind of built-in intro sprint to tournaments, so that if you're doing 3,000 waves or whatever, that you only have to do 2,500 waves, and then it slows down. Like, I think we can all agree to that. And honestly... You're not understanding what I'm saying, Fuzzy. I think we're just saying two different things. Like, if you demote to champions, that's just luck of the draw, man. Unfortunately, bad luck of the draw, but, I mean, I just don't know what to say to that, right? Like, because if you demote, you got outplayed, right? Like, do we at least agree on that? Whether it's outplayed or outpaid, we can debate that, but that's not really my... That's really not what I'm trying to say there. Okay, how did you not get outplayed if you demoted? Like, explain that to me, like how you didn't get outplayed, but you ended up being demoted, because I don't understand that. Also, I'm kind of curious how doing 3,000 waves in a tournament is sort of miserable. Why is demoting mean the game isn't working? Like, I'm not understanding how you're coming to these conclusions, Fuzzy, because to me, if you get 25th place in demote, that's just the way it is. You know, I mean, it means that 24 other people did better than you. Like, I don't understand, like, what the problem is. Yeah, he already finished. But that doesn't matter, Fuzzy. It doesn't matter if champion is not designed to handle your power. That doesn't matter. Because it's everybody, like a tournament is effectively, we're all competing against each other, right? So like there could be 2,000 waves to stay in. And I don't really understand what point you're trying to make outside of we need a better intro sprint. Because again, if you had a super intro sprint and you skipped the 25 and you skipped all the way to 2,500, right? Like, and you did your tournament in like 15 minutes or whatever, right? Like, you did your tournament in 30 minutes in champions. Does it even matter? Are you, like what I'm trying to say is, are you complaining about the duration or what? Because yeah, the duration is a problem, but that's a fixable problem by just adding more a better skip system. I guess I just don't understand, Fuzzy, because to me, right, like, if I demote to whatever I demote to, right, doesn't matter what league, it means that I had to get beaten by 24 other players for that to happen, right? It's sort of like, well, it is what it is. I got bad luck. I mean, it happens to the baby towers all the time. They get kicked out. They probably all should be in platinum. I guess I just don't understand, Fuzzy, because that was the game for me for a long time, right? Like, I could not compete at all in champions. And so I would just be like, well, I'll just demote. And then I would get, like, super first place in platinum. And I was just like, well, that's just the way the game is. And I never felt bad. It never made me feel bad or anything like that. I never really cared. I didn't even mind it, because to me it was like, okay, I know I'm going to demote in champions, so this is pretty sweet. I only have to do one tournament a week. But like, how else would you do it? That's my whole thing. That's what I'm trying to say here, is how else would you do it? Like, it's a pyramid scheme. That's the way the game is. It's a pyramid scheme. That's the way the tournament's set up, right? There's no escaping the pyramid scheme that it is. Like, and the only reason you're getting demoted, Fuzzy, is because 24 other people are doing better than you, and it's not like they didn't deserve to demote you. They did more waves than you did. Like, I don't understand why that's stupid. That's like, I can understand I don't like this system, but that, I don't see the problem. I mean, the problem I see is, it is a problem in the sense that the tournaments take too long. I absolutely see that that's a problem. And that is a big problem. And I hope that they're going to actually address that. But outside of the problem of tournaments shouldn't take this long, I don't see a problem, right? Like, if you did your champion tournament and it took a half hour, like, who cares that you got demoted? Outside of, like, I didn't get the reward I wanted. But okay, Fuzzy, the only way, though, to prevent this from happening would you rather have global ranking? Because the only way for you to have a different solution is global ranking. And, like, I'm pretty sure we both don't want global ranking. And I actually have been, and it has happened to my baby towers, but I mean, my baby towers go through the same thing that you're talking about, Fuzzy. When they get kicked out of gold, yes, it is. That's why I'm asking you what your solution is, because I can understand not liking the tournament system. I totally understand that. But I also, like, I guess, Fuzzy, this is just one of those things. I don't see the problem with you demoting the champions. I really don't. I don't see what it's a big deal. And people in the MLB get demoted to the minors all the time when they don't do well. Like, that's a... not an uncommon thing to hear that somebody goes to the major league, doesn't do well, and has to return to the minor league. That's happened to many players. That's actually not that uncommon for some players. Because again, we're not talking about the whole MLB going down to the minors. In this game, Champion League is the minors. It is. Legends is MLB, Champions is like. You might not like the progression that it's that way, but it is. Middle school PE is actually gold and, or excuse me, copper and silver and gold. I am not in favor of global ranking either, Glenn, because I feel like the whole purpose of a tournament is that it is a slot machine. You don't know if you're going to get a good bracket or not. Well, we're using baseball as an analogy of how it feels to get demoted from Legends to Champions. I mean, it depends on how the global ranking is, because, you know, there's ways you could do a global ranking where it would be okay, but I personally don't really want a global ranking, because a global ranking just means, I mean, if you're wait, are you the third best? Oh, you mean third global? I mean, but Fuzzy, there's like no solution to that if you get a bad bracket. Like, there's not, in this system, a solution to that problem, right? It seems like you feel like you should be demotion-proof, but that, to me, doesn't make any sense. And Fuzzy, that also means that when you don't demote, there are probably other people around your power level that also just get demoted into champions. Like, what I feel like what you're asking for. I mean, but why not? Somebody has to be demoted. That's the thing that I don't understand. Like, if you're so powerful, why aren't you always ranking? Because you should always, you know, not demote. Like, you should be able to beat, you should be able to beat 6 other players, like, or 7, excuse me. Why aren't you doing that? No, I'm asking you for an actual solution. Like, again, this is my problem. You bring up a complaint, and I say, well, why shouldn't it work this way? And you haven't really made in my opinion, you haven't made a cohesive argument where that says, well, just because I got 25th place, I shouldn't demote. Like, I haven't seen a cohesive argument why you shouldn't demote. Outside of, it takes a really long time, but to me, that's a separate problem. Speeding up the tournaments so that they don't take long, which is a separate problem. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? No, it has nothing to do with reason, right? I'm asking you, what is your alternative to this? With the way the system is structured, what is your alternative to this? Because the only alternative I see is another league. That they would use based on their history, right? And Fuzzy, it's not that you can't reason with me. You aren't presenting a reason that like resonates with me, okay? I mean, to me, if there's a league of 30 people, I'm going to tell you right now that's not going to happen. Like, you're wanting something that's not going to happen. Like, I'm... I mean, that is probably going to be a no from the developers. I don't know what to say to that, Fuzzy, because, again, first, I'm having trouble understanding what the problem is with 25th to 30th demoting, right? That, I don't because of 25th to, I mean, if you're, you know, like, I don't understand the problem with that. That's the first thing, okay? And I'm not, again, effectively, there is no right answer to this anyways. This is an opinion thing, right? This is a game design question. There technically is no right or wrong answer to this, right? And I don't see why they would flatten the power levels. Like, unless you mean make champions more difficult, like, sure, they could do that. They've already done that. They already did that to try and address this problem. I mean, if they change the brackets from 30 to 50, Glenn, like let's just double the brackets, right? From 30 to 60, because then you can just, like, take every reward tier and kind of double it, right? What that effectively does, Glenn, is it makes it, since you now have 60 people in the bracket, it makes it so that RNG is less of a factor, because now you have twice as many people in the bracket. It's much more likely. Then the solution to your problem, Fuzzy, is that champions needs to be harder, right? That would be the solution, making champions harder. I mean, I guess an alternative solution would be making gold protected, which is something I've said before, like, they could make gold protected, and that sort of solves the problem, too. If gold becomes a protected league, and the only 3 leagues are Platinum, Champion, and Legends, then by default, Legends just becomes easier, because basically everybody promotes up, right? But yeah, all that increasing the bracket size would do, Glenn, is reduce the variance in, like, how your bracket is. Which, if you want more predictable rewards, that's better. If you enjoy tournaments as more of an RNG reward, it's worse, if that makes sense. And I just choose 60 because it's the easiest way. It's the easiest way to just scale it, right? Because you could increase a bracket to 60, and now first and second get the same reward. You know, third through 8th get the same reward. 9 through whatever, you just can double each pool, and it's effectively the same thing. But the thing is, like this is what I'm trying to say to you, Fuzzy. Variance is a double-edged sword, right? Variance is also why you get demoted to champions. It allows you sometimes to get a good bracket, it allows you to get a bad bracket, and that's why you get demoted to champions. Like, that's why I have such a difficulty with what you're saying, is because, like, what you're talking about is the bad part of variance. I do wonder, Glenn, if, like, there's a few things, like, when they talk about making tournaments more competitive, Glenn, there's a few different levers they can pull. They could make a new league. They could increase the size of tournaments. They could make us sign up beforehand, right? So I'm kind of really curious, Glenn, which lever they're going to pull, you know? I'm really curious what lever they're going to pull in V29. And they could pull multiple of these levers, right? They could say, okay, everybody has to sign up for the tournament in advance. And we're going to randomly... Like one of the things they could do is force us all to sign up in advance and randomly seed the brackets in advance. But Fuzzy, you're not understanding me, right? Like, if you're so good, but still not good enough to be 24th, why shouldn't you demote? That's what I'm trying to say to you to counter your point, right? like your level of power is irrelevant because you got 25th. You're still demoting. It's like a baseball team only has, I don't know how many people are on a baseball team. Let's say it's 30 people. If you're not good enough to be the 30th person, right? And you're still leagues ahead of everybody in the minors, well, too bad, so sad, you're in the minors. Who's using demon mode? It would reduce variance, Glenn, which I think probably would be better for most people, but I don't know that everybody would be happy about it. You know what I mean? I think in the long term it would actually be better, but I think a certain segment of the population would be upset about it. Which, you know, I don't know if that's good or bad, right? Oh, what do you mean by can you explain that further? I see, the thing is, Fuzzy, I haven't played any of their games, so I need like more information on like what that actually means. And I do think, Fuzzy, when we're having a discussion like this, one of the key things for me is I don't want to make any invalid assumptions when you say something like that. So I don't want to assume something incorrectly, because then we're going to have an incorrect baseline, right? So I'd rather you set the baseline than me assume the baseline is incorrect. We have an entire discussion where I assume the incorrect baseline, and then it's like, oh, well, that's not what I meant. I meant this other thing. Okay, then don't do it, Fuzzy. Like, I'm not forcing you to do this. I just don't see, the thing is, I don't play their other games, so I don't know what you mean. Can you be more? Oh, okay, on Little Tower. Again, Fuzzy, I do not understand what you mean by a flat progression check. I am not familiar with that, so I can't like, if you're going to make a point about a flat progression check, that doesn't mean anything to me. That's why I'm asking, like, what do you mean? What is the flat progression check, and what does it mean? I'm not familiar with other tech tree games. That's not what I'm saying, Fuzzy. I'm saying I'm not familiar with the other games, so I don't know what point you're making. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe I've done that, Fuzzy, but if you say so, sure, I guess. I didn't realize your ideas were patented. I'm not trying to do anything, Fuzzy. I was simply asking you, what do you mean by flat progression check? You have decided not to answer, and now you're saying I'm doing something, which I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to say, like, I need to understand where you're at. I mean, who am I stealing this idea for, Fuzzy? And I'm really curious now, which ideas have I stolen from you? Because I'm very curious about that, because I don't believe I have said anything that's close to what you've said. Okay, Fuzzy, that's fine. You have a great day, and happy farming then. Again, I don't think I said anything unreasonable. Yeah, I was more curious how a flat progression check, Glenn, like, works in a tournament system, right? Fine, I guess. She didn't say anything, Pappy. I didn't see Gail say anything. I mean, that's totally fine. You can just call me stupid and not engage with me, Fuzzy. I mean, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I was just asking for clarification on what do you mean by a flat progression check. But you don't want to explain, so that's fine. You did not say a flat progression check means this. As far as I can see in this conversation, you did not say that. Okay, Fuzzy, then I didn't remember it. Okay. I mean, the thing is, Fuzzy, in my defense, if I didn't remember it, I certainly can't steal your ideas, which is the other thing you accused me of. So basically, the tournament is a 2-track reward system, with 1 track being a milestone reward and then a bonus based on ranking. Thus making ranking not exclusively what determines how much you get. So it's a more distributed system based on a combination of your rank and performance. And the thing that I would say counter to that is, there's a reason they decided not to do that in the tower. I do think a lot of the decisions that the tower has been built around... No, it's not that I... So the thing is, again, if that was the intention, like, that has been proposed to the tower, like, multiple times. And if we're going to have a discussion on why that hasn't happened, I'll tell you why. It's because the people, like... It's, again, it goes back to the question of why are stone packs so expensive? I believe stone packs are so expensive because people who spent a lot of money on this game, Sky and etc., wanted stone packs to be really expensive because they knew they could afford it. And since they knew they could afford it, they didn't want it to be affordable for everybody else, right? And I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of the things in this game are so expensive. And from the developer, he's like, well, people are buying it anyways, so, you know, what's it matter? You know? And that's sort of like the double-edged sword of this, right? Is that if you have a bunch of high rollers and they're like, oh, we want the price of admission to be $1 million... Well, you're not going to be like, well, I want it to be $1,000. Well, no, okay, $1 million sounds better because I get 1,000 times as much money. And that's happening in all sorts of facets of life, too. Like, this isn't just a tower thing, right? Like, you go to Disney World, Disney World's prices are going up, basically unaffordable for a lot of people now. And that's by design. But the thing is, what the Shinobis, the thing, what part of what I wasn't understanding was even a flat reward system like that, where, like, let's say the max reward for the tournament is the 450 stones, right? Like what it normally is. And you get a flat 200 if you get to 1,000 waves, and then you get 250 based on, like, the 0 to 250 based on your placement. If you got 1,000 waves and you're still in 25th place, you would still demote. Like, it doesn't stop the demotion as far as I understand. It just shifts the distribution where not all of your reward is based on your rank, right? I don't know why, Pappy, you get so excited for damage, because you realize that Little Tower does not do damage, right? I feel like every time we do a milestone push, you want me to buy things that don't work for Little Tower. And if you're wondering, Shinobi's, like, why I feel like the tower is designed the way it is, it's because people like Sky, who wanted the game to be more competitive, said, like, look, don't give them anything. Make it make it super competitive in the other direction, so that when I spend my money, I get more value for my money. And I don't know that this was Sky specifically. I don't know, like, I'm not trying to single anybody out, but Sky's one of the top players, right? A system that favors entrenchment and favors stuff like that is something that you want if you're a top player. You do not want other players to compete with you. You want a system where you are guaranteed to be the top dog because you spend the most money, right? So you want the system to be as hyper capitalistic as possible. And I don't doubt that influenced the way the tower was designed. I have little doubt that, especially if the backdoor, like the rumors where people are buying backdoor stones and stuff like that, like if those rumors were true, then there's even more reason to make it super competitive. Yeah, that's true, but, you know, I will say, Shinobis, it seems questionable that we've gotten return ROI on that. And then you can slice it like even with the flat thing, right? The way you could slice the, like, what's the minimum reward for the bracket? Like, you could just slice the max reward thing, right? Where, like, if the minimum reward for Legends is 120 stones, you just make the flat amount of Legends up to 120 stones. And then you would still have the same spread, right? This would just be 0 for getting this rank, this would be 105 for getting this rank, and this would be 305 for getting this rank. So you could slice it where it effectively becomes the same thing, except that people that are going to demote, right, they can earn up to 120 or whatever. Yeah, well, yeah, recently there has been. You know, Pappy, this is why I don't like doing runs, like push runs like this, because you guys get so fixated on damage and stuff like that, and it's like, damage doesn't do anything. Like, if there's anything I should be doing, it should be buying enemy attack skips. I think a lot of that, Shinobis, is because they took 8 months to get, like, wasn't V28 like 8 months? I do think they did take I mean, so the issue, Glenn, as soon as you have, like, demotion protection for some people, right? Which is that's why I was asking what Fuzzy wanted, because it sounded like he wanted demotion protection, right? He wanted to have certain people have demotion protection, and he would be one of those people who would have demotion protection because he was, you know, quote unquote, that strong, right? As soon as you add demotion protection, it then becomes a question of, okay, who gets it, right? And then, okay, Fuzzy, but we're having a demotion protection discussion without you then. So he didn't mean demotion protection, but Glenn, I'll entertain you having demotion protection then. As soon as you add demotion protection, it depends on who gets it. And then demotion protection sort of depends on how it's distributed, right? So if one person, let's say one person in each bracket should demote, but they have demotion protection, right? All you're doing is changing the system from 4 promote, 6 demote to 4 promote, 5 demote, right? Because roughly one person that would have demoted didn't, right? Because they have demotion protection. Can you unlock card mastery, Shinobi, or no? Because card masteries probably would be a big help for you. See, and this is why I don't understand what Fuzzy's saying, because he demoted because he was 25th. Like, oh, okay. If you get 25th, you just demote. That's the way the system is. It doesn't matter how strong you are, because it's rated to you relatively to everybody else that ends up in your bracket. So, like, 25th is 25th. Now, there could be a system where, like, they change it so you have to demote twice, like you get 2 strikes. And you could have a system like that where, like, okay, like, that's sort of like bad luck protection, right? Where if you promote, you'd have to get demoted twice, and then in a system like that, you would have to, like, effectively double how many people would demote to kind of balance it out, right? So if you wanted to have 1 promote, 2 demotes, then you would have to double it from, 6 people demote to 12 people demote, which would actually be a lot closer to, like, it wouldn't be, like, the terrible thing. Oof. But at that point, like, really, as soon as you add any kind of demotion protection or changing the demotion numbers, you're just shifting the pyramid, right? How many waves is 25th? If you made it so 2 demotes, you had to demote twice. You would probably just push more people into Legends, because people would have to. It also depends, Glenn, like, if the demotes had to be consecutive, right? Do you really need 1 quadrillion a day to do masteries? I honestly, Shinobis, I don't remember. I don't think you need that much. I think I was doing it at 500 trillion, but that was a long time ago. But at 500 trillion, it was consuming basically all my income. Like, I couldn't spend it on anything else. So it's total 50 yeah, but what is your lab coin thing? It also depends. It's 50 quadrillion over how much time too. So, like, how long would it take you? Because you have to remember, I'm pretty sure you could do it with like half a quadrillion a day. Oh, okay. 36 an hour. Wait, the last one is 2 quadrillion an hour? Really? Oh. Oh, thank you, Fuzzy. And let's see, that's 32 at the low end times 24. Is, 700, so closer to 750. Yeah, it'd be about 80% cheaper if you're doing it at 4x. How much are you're making 500 trillion a day currently, Shinobis? I mean, at that, then you would multiply that by 0.8. And so you'd be looking at 600 trillion a day if you can do it at 4x. So you're basically like on the cusp of being able to do one a day if that was your only expensive thing you were doing. And if no, 768 trillion a day is if you're doing it 5x. As soon as you go down to 4x, because you're now doing it, 80% as fast, it goes down to 600. Yeah, 614. So if you're this is what happened to me, Shinobis. And also, Shinobis, what is your Golden Tower Plus? What is your Golden Tower Plus at? Yeah, so if you saved up your coins for a couple days so you had a buffer. Okay, you don't have all ultimate weapons yet. I didn't do it until I had all ultimate weapons. But again, the math now is different because you're making that income. And some of those labs will be a big boost. What tier are you farming, Shinobis? What tier do you farm? I don't know. Wave Excel is pretty powerful, Fuzzy. Wave Excel was up there, depending on where you farm. Oh, you're doing... Well, okay, it's probably not that good if you're doing 12 to 10k. Because, like for example, Shinobi... what is... Let's just look at, like, the most basic one, which is Coin Mastery, right? What would what is Coin Mastery, right? It takes it from... It basically... Does it... How powerful is Coin Card Mastery? 30%, okay. So if you're making... That's a very simple one. If you're making 600 trillion a day, and you start with Coin Mastery, that immediately just puts you to 780 a day. And at 780 a day, you can afford any other mastery. No, Aaron, I have not unlocked minerals. We're still trying to do minerals. Haven't done it yet. Yeah, I just use Coin Mastery, Fuzzy, because that's a very easy one to calculate because it's very clearly 30%. And so it's very clear if you're making 600 trillion a day, 30% more is, 780 trillion. A second, guys. I'm looking at something else real quick. Oh, congrats. Well, Aaron, did you not farm enough time skip and stuff like that? So, Shinobi's, given where you are... Shinobi's, given where you are, I would say I would focus on probably an econ map. Again, it's kind of a toss-up, right? I would say recovery package chance is usually considered the best one to do, right? That's not really going to help you with econ. That could give you more econ problems, to be honest with you. I'm not saying, and we're not talking buying stone packs or anything, right? Oh, well, congrats, Aaron. Time flux. I thought that was 4 days off. I'm like, well, that's great. Enjoy your 4 days off. But also congrats on your time flux. But if you wanted to be able to more afford, like again, like to me, I would think you would want to just kind of struggle bust through recovery, package, chance, mastery, just to kind of get those extra shards, right? And yeah, it's going to be kind of a struggle. If not, and what is your stone income, by the way, Shinobi? So like, when you're talking about like, I need to save, like, what is your like stone income currently? Because masteries are a pretty big payoff for usually a relatively low stone cost. Oh, you ran out. Wow, okay. Okay, so you're looking at, like, if you were going to save up, right, you're looking at saving up for, like, a week and a half. So, not, sorry, 2.5 weeks, excuse me, I did the math wrong. 2.5 weeks, depending on which one you pick. What is the highest ROI econ, Fuzzy? Because I don't know. I only know the one. Really? Intro sprint. Okay. How much is intro sprint? Isn't it 1,000? So, it's a difficult thing. So, that's a difficult question. Okay? Because here's kind of the dilemma of where you're at, Shinobis. If you focus on coins first, that means you will be able to then permanently focus a mastery, and then that mastery would then help you be able to improve your tournament performance. And if I'm not mistaken, fully researching a mastery takes how long? Isn't it like 4 weeks or something like that? At 4x. Assume maximum lab speed. So really, you would just be spending some of your stones. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, crit coin is really, really bad. Oh, shoot, hold on. I get you, you little bastard. There's a fly, there's a little tiny fly buzzing around me. I will be right back. I'm gonna check how long the labs take, because I don't remember. So, at my lab speed, so we'll just assume my lab speed, with a 4x speed up, and again, this might be, it's going to kind of depend where you fall on the Shinobis. It takes a month at 4x to finish one. So, kind of how you have to think about this Shinobis is I'm going to spend some of my stones for the month to unlock a mastery. What level is that, Shinobis? What level is that at? Okay. Well, you don't need to worry about doing them any higher then, right now. I would think, Shinobis, that you would be... Actually, you know what? How much are... Wait, do I even have the Disco Labs unlocked on Little Tower? I don't think I do. Wait, they're at the top, aren't they? Yeah, I don't have them unlocked. I mean, but the way I would look at it, Shinobis, is you are going to be doing card masteries with basically some of your stones for a month. And so if you have like, what do you mean, Aaron? What do you mean the tower challenge? So I wouldn't look at it like I have to spend my stones exclusively on this. It would be more like I would look at it like I have to spend some of my stones on this. Oh, okay. You mean, so it's the tower challenge is now in Revolution Idol. Thank you for clarifying, Aaron. I would think, Shinobi, you should seriously... I mean, Shinobis, can you export your save file, yes or no? Because if you can export your save file, then I would recommend just exporting your save file. And there's a site called mytower.app, and you could just try running your tower through that. I use that on Big Tower, and that's when I did all. That's what I did all my more recent econ investments in. The biggest problem with mytower.app is you run the simulation, and it, for whatever reason, doesn't save the simulation. Aaron, I made it to, I think, 10 attack levels higher is about how much I've made it. You know, depends how you see that, how much progress that is. You can also now apparently import your save file directly into, whatchamacallit. Aaron, I just, like, I haven't felt like it, Aaron. I thought we talked about this. I just had... the issue, Aaron, is that, the score build... like, my biggest complaint, Aaron, is that I don't have an easy way to have multiple Zodiac specs. For me to actually have multiple Zodiac specs, for whatever reason, that is locked behind me achieving Merge Incremental, achievement 242, which is the planet loadouts, right? And so, since I don't have loadouts, Aaron, I haven't been very motivated to play because where I'm at in the game requires loadouts, but I don't have loadouts, so it's like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you not giving me the convenience of something I need for where I'm at in the game? So that was my biggest reason, Aaron. The game has become, because of the choices the game developer has made, it has become very tedious. So that's sort of why, Aaron. Like, you tell me why I can't just have a planet loadout. I can understand, Aaron, having the planet loadout and not being able to use it as a macro until I get there. Totally understand that. But that's not the limitation I'm running into. He's talking about Revolution Idol, Shinobis. Has nothing to do with the tower. Aaron is our, he is obsessed with the Revolution Idol. I did used to play it on stream, but it kind of became problematic. It kind of became problematic, and I'm kind of not enjoying the game, so it's like hard to justify streaming a game I don't enjoy. Hey Harley, how you doing? Well, Harley, I will say, do you know if you can export your save file? Yes, that is the crypto miner with the circles. That is correct. Because if you can export your save file, Harley, there is mytower.app that you can use now. And Harley, that would really give you a lot of insight, especially if you're new to the game, on potential choices you have. Obviously, you need to take it with a grain of salt. It will not have all the answers. I mean, it's pretty much what it is, Fuzzy. I mean, everybody accuses the tower of being a crypto miner, too. Shoot, I think I missed gems. So, you would need, as far as I know, Harley, you would need a computer. I don't know if you can do it from a mobile device. There is no way that I know of to do it with just a mobile device. Oh, okay. How did you do it, Sar? Because what I had to do was I had to download for BlueStacks. I had to download a file thing. I had to copy the file from one spot to another spot. Then when I copied the file, I was able to export the file. And then I was able to take the exported file. It was like a whole series of steps. And then I was able to load it in the mytower.app. I mean, obviously, Harley, if you are kind of like, if you're really new to the game, you won't really have a lot of things you need to input to kind of get the answers you're looking for. So there's also that, too. Oh, okay. So, like, if you're, like, if you have just started, like, I don't know how long you've been playing, Harley. Oh, okay, if you're using, like, mytower.app is basically ePath. It's relatively the same thing. It just, they both can load from save files now, if you haven't seen that. I don't know how Effective Paths does its save file load, but allegedly it can do it too. I haven't followed up with how Effective Paths can load from the save file. Unfortunately, like, what I really want is for the game to, like, let you copy and paste your stats, right? I mean, yeah, it probably is a deserializer. I actually, when I looked at the one that, I actually looked at the source code for one of the ones that read the save file. And it wasn't, it's not like it unzipped it and deserialized it. It was actually looking at the actual bits, which I thought was odd. But that was a while ago. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what it was. Yes, but Fuzzy, what I'm trying to say is it didn't deserialize the object, okay? What I would have expected is our save file to be encrypted. And when I'm used to a deserializer, Fuzzy, I'm expecting something to take an object and say this is the format of the object and literally turn it into a class of that object. And instead, this is more like treating the save file like a database. I forget the term for that, but it wasn't like it was a JSON object that was serialized and then deserialized. It was more like I'm looking at this address of the save file, and I know that this address means this thing. Usually most save files are like they take a JSON thing. Yes. Yes, I know what JSON is. But what I was saying is, it wasn't like they deserialized the save file into a JSON object. They were looking at the actual bits with specific offsets. Now, this was a little while ago. It's fine, Fuzzy, if that's how you want to talk to me. I don't have a problem with it. But you see, my thing is, Fuzzy, I don't think you were understanding what I was saying, because they were looking at the offsets directly, which means it could be JSON, but if it was JSON, I wouldn't expect you to look at the specific offsets of the save file for the information. To me, that implies that it's, I forget what it's called, when you just know what the offset is, and that offset, you know, you take the value of that offset. There's a specific term for it. I encountered it in CS a long time ago. I don't remember what the term is for that. Because you're basically using it. It's more like you're using the bits as a database. Yeah, correct. Because I would have expected it to be compressed. And I would have expected it. What I would have expected is that you take a JSON dump of everything whenever you save. You take that JSON dump, and then you usually compress it. And when you compress it, you usually also encrypt it, so people can't just change can't just edit the bits directly. But the implication of what I saw was that it was, they saved it all as bits, and based on the offset of the bit, it knew what the value was. But it's been a long time since I looked at that code. Because I was curious, like, how they reverse engineered it. Because I would have expected that you would have decompiled the program, found out what the encryption keys were, figured out how to decrypt the... No, oh, it's a bit array. I think. Hey Ned, how you doing? At least that's how I remember it. It was like it was just a bit array. Yeah, Ned, I was in a position where I was like, I just want to get the tournament out of the way early. I've actually, you know, this is the thing is I've actually been doing this longer than I meant to, but... I thought there was a different name for it than bit array. Because it's basically you're using the bit table, you're using the actual bits of the save file as basically their offset to turn. And it's how a lot of old save files were done. Because like any kind of like old school video game you did, you knew the hex offset of the save file and you edited that hex offset. And when you edited that hex offset, you then changed the value of your character, and that was, you know, how we used to do things like that. Maybe it is byte stream. I thought there was a different word for that. I just thought there was a different way of doing it. Oh, apparently what you do it's apparently a simple thing to do in C. You basically just define it as a struct. You're already up to 108, damn. Wow, Ned. But to be fair, that's what you need to do now, isn't it? Oh, gems, hold on. On the plus side, Ned, once you get it to 130%, you're done. Yes, Harley, I have been advising people to save gems. I don't know if you've watched the more recent episodes. I've been advising people that you basically, Harley, unfortunately, the way the game is designed now, you shouldn't spend gems or anything unless there's a banner going on. And if there's not a banner going on, you're unfortunately just forced to sit on your gem pile for as long as you can. And almost always there will be another banner, and you are generally in this game, unfortunately, rewarded for only waiting for the banner. So that's unfortunately... It's unfortunate if you didn't know that and you spent your gems and like they gave you the free module tickets and you spent those already. It's unfortunate. But unfortunately, that is the reality of this game. You just have to sit. That's why all of them have a bunch of gems, because they're all just sitting for a banner at this point. I will say I don't really like that. But yeah, the lucky banner is coming. The good news is, too, Harley, that you do have 2 weeks of the lucky banner. So you at least have 2 weeks of kind of grinding gems to try and get what you can out of the lucky banner. Did you already burn like all your mod tickets and stuff like that they gave you earlier with the anniversary event? Oh, Ned, have you tried running your... I don't know if you can do it on iOS, but I didn't know if you've tried running your save file through the mytower.app. Ah, okay. Yeah, because you're still... So basically, you have to save up 1,600 to do the event. Then, depending on what event relics are available, you have to determine if you're going to buy those. So you need to always have a, what is it? A cushion of 3,600, right? Oh, Harley. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, that's... Unfortunately, Harley, at least you know now, you should just always be hoarding gems. You really do not want to spend gems unless you have, I would say, conservatively, you want to have 40,000 gems saved up before you just pull willy-nilly on a non-banner with modules. Which I know that seems like a ridiculous amount, but... The reason you would want to save up 40,000 is if they decided to bring out 4 new mods, it takes you about 10,000 gems to get a mod to Ancestral. Yeah, it basically, unless, like, for my towers, it's going to be tough for me to decide, right? Do you have both the 2x and 3x multiplier, Harley? And I will say this, if you are going to buy the pack, I would recommend you waited until towards the end of the event. Okay. I would recommend waiting until towards the end of the event. And the reason I would recommend waiting until towards the end of the event is because it is possible that you get the things you want with the gems you get from the event. And if you do, don't forget creator code Zaerdin. I'll show you how to do it. Come right in here. And this also works on the web store, by the way. Zaerdin. Confirm. And if you choose to support me, thank you so much. If you choose to support somebody else, well, thank you for watching. And if you choose to support nobody, well, thank you for rejecting capitalism. But either way, I would recommend just delaying that purchase towards the end of the event, just in case you get the mod you want. You got 2 weeks, so it's not like it's a rush thing where you have to rush. You know, one of my biggest complaints, Aaron, about whatever this game is, Revolution Idol, is that, like, for the Zodiac automation, I can't say only sell if everything's full. Like keep one space free. Because if I could do that, like, a lot of my complaints with the Zodiac thing would be not really complaints anymore. I'd at least have fewer complaints about it because I would have more control. Project funding is better than restorative. I don't think most builds even use restorative bonus. And I do think we're going to start winding things down. I think that's a new record. Somebody came to my Discord and left in 3 minutes. I mean, that is what any time they run a banner, that the idea is everybody spends all their gems. I will say I think V29 is far enough away where I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's, you know, obviously it's difficult to say like what gem unlocks they could do in V29. Excuse me. I'm gonna go back to farming because we aren't making any progress. Harley, it depends. I mean, it depends what you defined late game as, because that's you're casting a very wide net. Yeah, Rubber, I think they said earlier August. I take everything they say, though, with a grain of salt, because we've seen them say, like, the update's gonna come, and then the update was, like, late, so... At some point, I need to figure out how to farm tier 20, which I don't know how to farm tier 20 yet. Oops, that's the wrong one. It's really difficult to know, Rubber. Yeah, the Lucky Banner is so good, I would just recommend spending on it. Oh, we got 2 milestones. We didn't make it to tier... Oh, we got stones. Very nice. 90 stones. Little Tower. I think Little Tower has something he needs to buy. Oh, no, he bought it already. Let me check where Little Tower's at. Okay, I'm saving up for cooldown now, so I am saving up for cooldown now. Fortunately, Little Tower doesn't really need to change much. He just drops that in, and he's going to go back to tier 10. So I need to update his ultimate weapon sheet, because I did get that tick of spotlight. I am going to be drawing the Lucky Banner pretty hard, I think, on everybody. I don't anticipate where I would not do that. Even Big Tower is going to drop because Big Tower needs at least 2 more dim cores, if not more. Yeah, so now he's saving up for the next cooldown, which is 576 stones, and he'll get the next set of cooldowns. So Aaron, I'm going to say that I did the thing you suggested. I made a score build. And in my defense, this part of the game is absolutely miserable. Even with a score build. I would not be surprised, New, if we got new modules in V29. I would not be surprised. I would hope that like if they did, they would do some like to me the thing is this: there's such a simple solution to this game, and this is where I get so frustrated. There's no reason we couldn't have a daily banner for every module so far in the game, right? That would be 24 days, you would see every module, and at most you would have to save is you would save up for 24 days to get the mod you wanted, right? For the life of me, guys, I don't understand that that's not why the way it is. I feel like that would just be such an easy win And I feel like if they gave it to us, like, it wouldn't really change the gem velocity that much. Because you would just, like, hit the banners when they're up, right? Now, I would say that that would probably put more pressure on them to make all of the different mods good, right? Like, restorative bonus would need to be better. Like, some of them would need to be buffed where you might actually want them, you know, rather than like, oh, restorative bonus, you're like just trash. The alternative is we get 6-star modules. I will also take 6-star modules because then I would fix all my module problems. Sorry, I'm looking at something. Hey Jeff, how you doing? I am very much though looking forward to the Lucky Banner, to be honest with you guys. I think it's a long time overdue for it to make a comeback. Yeah, it has been a while, Jeff. I forget you usually go by a different name. Why wouldn't you pull? Well, you're gonna save for V29 now? Oh, congrats. Well, New, like I tell everybody, you don't have to make the decision right now. We're gonna have the banner for a while. So you have 2 weeks to decide, you know? Oh, congrats, Jeff. Well, guys, I'm gonna call it. This is a little bit longer of a stream than I wanted to, but I hope everybody enjoyed it. I've kind of been short on streams recently, so we kind of had to have our comeback stream, I guess. So I'm gonna call it here, though, guys. So once again, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to say something in the comments. I do always look forward to your questions. And as always, thank you again, and I hope you have a great day and happy farming. And Jeff, welcome to the tower, and I hope you enjoy it, but I need to get going. I started a early stream today. Sorry, Jeff. You kind of caught me at the tail end. I've been here for 4 hours, Jeff. Where you been? I even streamed early. Are you in the Discord, Jeff? Yeah, happy farming. Oh yeah, I know that they're eventually we're gonna get the mods are just gonna keep modding, right? Honestly, Ned, I really look forward to mods going to 6-star because then I can fix everything. Well, I hope you had a nice time outside. I'm sorry you missed the stream though, Jeff, but I'm gonna get out of here, guys. You guys have a great one, and Jeff, you can at least watch the stream because it's been going on for like almost 4 hours. So have a great one, everybody, and happy farming, and I will see you guys next time.